It's the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast with Alex Trateris, John Malika, and Ricey on the beat. Let's go.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Alex Trateris here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me, as always, my buddy, my cousin, pal, and the man, the plan, the one and only John Malika. And with us, as always, the rock, the foundation, stability, video producer Greg Albert. Yeah, that's right. We back at it. Another Jets episode. This week, we are traveling to Minnesota to take on the one and only Minnesota Vikings, a.k.a. Skull. We're going in there. John will be there. John's going to be there in the building representing Gangrene Nation, Jets Nation, Take Flight, all the above.
7-4 New York Jets, bro. 7-4 New York Jets against the 9-2 Minnesota Vikings, bro. December football. Meaningful December football. Maybe the most meaningful December football game since the almighty Rex Ryan Bowl with Fitzpatrick throwing 2 picks in Buffalo. Honestly, this might be the most meaningful game since.
Yeah.
But I love what Coach Saleh said. Next week is going to be just as important as this week. And he's absolutely right, because next week we're going to go to Buffalo, and it's going to be we're going to be sitting here saying the same exact thing. This is the most important game of our season because the division's on the line. The playoffs are on the line. So let's just take it 1 week at a time here. I'm so hyped to go to Minnesota. I'm especially hyped that Minnesota is indoors. US Bank Stadium. It's going to be freezing out there. Might also jump to a Minnesota Timberwolves OKC game on Saturday night. I love when they have events like on that same night going on in those cities. Really cool. Man, I'm really hyped about this game, guys. Like, besides the fact that it's Mike White and we get to see him again, I'm slightly nervous. I want to see what you guys think about that because he hasn't really put together 2 consecutive great games. But he has put in 1 great game, and he just did that last week. So I'm slightly worried about that. I'm hyped about the fact that Minnesota has the 32 ranked passing defense, so that bodes well. We got immaculate vibes all over the Jets team, from the coaching staff to the special teams down to the offense, except for James Robinson coming out here. He's upset that he was inactive last week, but we got Zonovan Knight in. We have Tyler Johnson in. We have Ty Johnson in. I don't think that Michael Carter is going to play. He hasn't practiced with the ankle on Wednesday. I'm sure he'll at least take 1 week off. So I hope that James Robinson gets his head right. But other than that, the vibes are immaculate, man. I saw some stuff that kind of worried me about Mike White last week, missing some open players. Maybe should have been a pick 6 throwing to a linebacker last week. Kind of got lucky with that Garrett Wilson touchdown because Eddie Jackson not only got hurt on that non-contact, he's out for the year. You know what I'm saying? So a couple things broke the Jets' way. Not any fumbles, of course. But a couple things broke their way. We have the Vikings 32 pass defense. The Vikings ran a special kick back last week with Kevin Ngwagu. And he's really good. We were scouting him in the draft stuff, so he's really good. I got him on Mojo, actually. I'm not one of my socks because he was really cheap. He was a penny sock at one point. So the Patriots ran one back on us. The Vikings ran one back last week. So I'm a little worried about our special teams. I'm a little worried about what's going on with running back here. I'm a little worried about Mike White on consecutive nights, but the vibes are immaculate. The Vikings are prone to fall. Their defense stinks. Our defense is amazing. I'm hyped for Minneapolis, guys. Like, talk me. Like, am I crazy for being excited here? Like, I remember being just as excited to go into the Green Bay game. You guys are calling me crazy. We ended up killing that game. Doesn't feel like that kind of team, but I feel good going into this game.
You're not crazy. I mean, the good thing is that the Vikings have a terrible defense. The one thing that's concerning is that the Vikings have a very good offense, but the Jets have a very good defense. That's going to be the matchup of the game, and we'll talk about that later. But you're not crazy because this is totally a game that the Jets could go in there and come out victorious. There's not been a game this season where I don't feel like the Jets could not have entered and could have won. Except for the beginning of the season where you have Joe Flacco under center, and that's because it's a different play style with Joe Flacco, and I would say you don't get to you wouldn't necessarily utilize all the weapons and skill sets of everybody because you need someone who's a little bit more mobile at the quarterback position. But now
you throw 90 times.
And throw it 90 times. But with now that you have Mike White, even when you had Zach Wilson, someone who's mobile back there, it changes the entire look at the offense. And with that, and knowing how stout this defense is, it's not far-fetched at all to feel confident that the Jets could come out being victorious against the Minnesota Vikings. We're playing really well, but both teams are playing well in their own right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have just like I'm nervous, but it's like a good nervous. Like I want to play the game already. I'm not nervous like I'm worried we're gonna get blown out. I just want to play. Got
butterflies in your stomach, Greg?
Yeah, I want to see how good we are because I think this is a good test. Like the Vikings have had 2 kind of bad losses on the season. Other than that, they've won some incredible games or blown some teams out. So they've kind of covered the gambit on ways to win and ways to lose. So. I think we have a good shot this week. It's a 3-point spread, which I'm kind of intrigued by. I thought it would be a little bit higher, but we're coming off our first time ever being favored in a game this season. The defense isn't great passing-wise. Rushing-wise is pretty good. The thing that I noticed, too, when scouting a little bit, we'll get into like the full preview a little bit, they give up a lot of yards, not a lot of touchdowns passing. So I want to see Mike White be able to throw a couple because we saw, earlier in the season with Zach Wilson, the yards might have been there, but the passing touchdowns weren't. Last week we saw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, a clean game from Mike White. We're going to need it again this week if we're going to be able to keep up with these Vikings because, to your point, Alex, they have a really good offense. We have a really good defense, but they have a good offense. They're going to be pushing the ball. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, we're road warriors, so I'm ready to play this game on the road. I'm ready to take it to Minnesota.
And you mentioned Mike White's clean game last week against the Chicago Bears, and the Chicago Bears has a poor defense. I think that's a good thing going into this game is that you're going to let Mike White still get acclimated to a good play style because Vikings are a bad defense. And if you're going to give Mike White this continued success, who better else than to go against the Vikings? I think this could get into somewhat of a shootout. I mean, 31 points against the Chicago Bears. I understand it's the Chicago Bears, and everyone's gonna be like, well, they stink right now. It doesn't matter. You still put up 31 points. First game of him this season, getting under center. Team's going through injuries. He had a really good week of practice, is what we heard from all the reporters, and he still came out and helped this team put up 31 points. Going against the Vikings team, now you're talking about being in rhythm, have 1 week under your belt. I think you could do something similar to keep the Jets afloat in this game. It's going to come down to the other side of the ball. Will DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner be able to stop Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson? Are we going to be able to maintain, not stop, maintain TJ Hawkinson? Are we going to stop Dalvin Cook, especially when he's catching balls out of the backfield? These are the things it's really more so on the defensive side of the ball that I'm more concerned about rather than the offense, because I think Mike White's still going to have success against the Vikings defense. What do you think, John?
Yeah, the only issue is Dalvin Tomlinson, possibly the Vikings' best player. To our luck, he's coming back. He's missed a couple games, but throughout the first 7, he was the Vikings' best player. Missed the last 4. He'll be back. He's a presence, but at the same time, Christian Darrisaw, he looks like he's going to be out. Another interior lineman of theirs. So there's that. I'm intrigued by this kid Evans, the rookie cornerback who's been out for a couple weeks. He's going to be coming back. I wonder who he's going to play. Like, we have so many offensive weapons that if he's guarding even Berrios, you know what I mean? Who's last on the depth chart here, probably. Like, I want to test that out, on a sweep, where I want to test out Mims. Mims played well last week. Corey Davis was open. We saw what Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore did in open space. Like, I'm really excited about this offense. I know that sounds crazy. I haven't been this excited about the offense in weeks. And the defense, dude, the defense has been showing out. Like, Joyner, listen, he has great plays and some mediocre plays, right? Where he misses tackles and then he comes back and he makes huge plays. CJ Mosley, same thing, right? He always allows the pass, but he's usually there to make the tackle. right? He had that crazy interception with his fingertips, which was really sick once you slow it down. Watch it. Everybody's playing well. I'm excited about our interior D-line. Greg, you mentioned the games that the Vikings lost. There's only 2 of them, so we don't have, there's not much to look at. But both times, there was a lot of rush. Like, we rushed them. So, not we. They rushed them. But with the Jets, we have to rush Kirk Cousins. That's the only way we're going to be able to stifle this offense. Obviously, we have to stop the run for Dalvin Cook, right? Because TJ Hockenson, he's going to get those third downs. Thielen, hopefully, we have the upper hand there. But Justin Jefferson, if he's moving around, he's on Michael Carter. If he's on DJ Reed, I mean, it's going to be a battle for us. So it's going to be a fun game for sure. I'm really excited about it. Man, Mike White has to have a clean game, guys. I think you said it right. But you know what I really think? I really think Greg the Leg, he's gonna have a big week.
I hope
Honestly,
so.
It's indoors.
Really?
It's indoors. I think we're gonna be conservative for the most part. I don't think we're gonna be trying to throw touchdowns if it's like or going for it or anything crazy like that. I think we're gonna be like just trying to kick field goals. Greg the Leg showed last week he could hit 60-yarders. It's US Bank's indoors, so I don't know. I'm looking. Listen, man. Vikings won last week because of special teams. We lost 2 weeks ago because of special teams. We had a blunder last week, which scared the hell out of me on special teams, right? But Braden Mann came back with the punts and with the holds. Greg the Leg came. I'm just like they've been determining our games, man. So I see it, and it's only +3, like you mentioned, Greg. Shout out to Winning Picks Weekly. I don't know. I think this is going to be a close one, but I think it's going to go over. I think it's going to be a. Listen, let me throw it back to you guys. Do you think the Jets could win a shootout versus the Vikings? So the Jets haven't allowed a shootout, so maybe a shootout to the Jets is 21, 24 points. Like, can the Jets handle that? I know we put up 30 against the Bears, but can we do it again? Can we drop 30?
Could we I think we could drop 30. Could we handle a shootout? I'm not sure if we could handle a shootout because in order for you to handle a shootout means you have a quarterback that's capable of shouldering the load of like carrying a team on their backs, right? And I don't necessarily know if that is Mike White's status if he could do that.
He's a Hall of Famer,
like
Alex.
he could Hall of Famer. Yeah, I get that. I get it.
He showed it again coming out. Those completions, bro.
I remember the Bengals game. Bears was not really anything where it's a shootout. Bengals was probably the closest thing to where it got.
Did you see those conditions, Alex? Did you see those conditions, bro?
Yes, I hear you.
Soaking wet out there. Braden Man can't handle a football, bro.
Look, but thank God he's not our quarterback. But do I think Mike White could lead us to victory in a shootout? I guess he did it once against the Bengals. The question is, could he replicate that, right? And this is where if you leave him in a situation to manage and make the throws that he knows he can do, I think so. More or less to me is, will our playmakers make the big plays that we need for us to be in this game? Because the way the Michael Force system runs is that it's a lot of yak, right? Just like how we would watch the Patriots kill us every single season. It's let's make the short throws. Let's make sure we get accurate short throws. Work for the 10-yard, work for the 10-yard, work for the 10-yard. All right, now we're going to throw a bomb. We got the opportunity. Or just continuously march and eat all the clock and just reduce the amount of time your opponents have to score, right? That's how the Jets offense likes to work. So with it being a shootout, I don't know, man. I think that's I don't know if the Jets could handle a shootout. I'm going to lean on the side of saying no. I don't think they could handle a shootout. I think they can handle like a high scoring affair, but a shootout, like when you say shootout, you think like 40, because I think 40 points. Like I go back to like that Saints. I think it was Saints Giants game like a couple years back where it was like 50 points each. That's a shootout. 40 points. We're talking shootout.
You're saying who cares? You're saying who cares about the Bears, but I'm telling you statistically, the Vikings have the worst passing defense in the league. You know what I mean? So
and that's why I'm saying Mike White will be successful. But that's what I'm saying. Mike White will be successful. I think a shootout is different though. I think a shootout for me is like
I think
it like deep ball.
Yeah, like I think like to Alex's point, like a shootout is kind of like trading like touchdown for touchdown, and I do think that the Jets can hang in a shootout with the Vikings because of the lackluster defense they have, but also I really do think it comes down to like mentality. And I think this team believes in this team. And I think they believe in each other. I think if they go down and they score the ball, I think they believe the defense will get a stop. And when the defense doesn't get a stop, it's not like Jets teams in past where it's like, all right, well, this game's over.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, Mike White, let's get the ball, let's get it going. You guys mentioned it. We have weapons. We have an offensive line. We have the 2 best tight ends in the league. Like, let's go out there and let's make some plays. Let's make something happen. We have Mike LaFleur. We have Robert Saleh. We have these guys on and off the field that can set the mentality, set the will, and enforce their will on this team. I think we can hang, man. I think we really can until Mike White shows us otherwise. Is he going to show us otherwise in this game? I hope not. Could it happen that fast? Yeah, it could happen that fast. There's a reason why he's a 5th-round pick. There's a reason why he was a 3rd-string quarterback to start the season. But right now, I'm living high on Mike White, man. I'm loving my life. Mike White is the guy. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's going to lead us to a win this week. I'm very excited about it. I think we can hang. I think we can, especially with the Vikings.
Oh, for sure. I think we can hang too.
If the Jets beat the 9-2 Minnesota Vikings, they better start paying for me to go to games.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
The other thing, too, we are road warriors, man. We love the road. We love it.
We do. We do love the road. We are so much better on the road too, which is, hey, I think that's an advantage that we got to talk about. But with not only being a good road team, what do you guys feel about the defense? Because, like I said, this is a tough matchup. Would you say is this the best wide receiver tandem that we have to face this year, or is that hyperbole? Because we are facing Justin Jefferson, one of the top wide receivers in the league. Adam Thielen's still a good wide receiver. What do you guys think?
I think a healthy Chase and Higgins was the best wide receiver tandem we're going to face all year. I mean, we do have Metcalf and Lockett coming up too, and Geno Smith revenge game, but we'll talk about that in a future week. I think the Cincinnati Bengals, when healthy, I think they have the best receiving core in the league. We happen to play them. We happen to play the Vikings. We played Miami without Tua, so I guess you could talk about Hill and Waddle coming up. Last game of the season when we play them, that could definitely be in contention. But I really do. I think Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are just as good. And I think Thielen's a great veteran. I just think T. Higgins is a little bit better right now. He's a younger guy, bigger body guy, and can get it done when Jamar Chase isn't there. So that's what I think. John, what do you think about this?
I think this is not only the best wide receiver tandem, because Thielen is just unbelievable. I mean, the man runs incredible routes, gets touchdowns, is reliable, has a rapport with the quarterback who, talk about revenge game. The Jets better have something for Kirk Cousins, man. Openly in a documentary being disrespectful, talking about how he played the Jets for some money. We better have something special for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird because I feel like the Jets all season have been talking about that wasn't my team. Like people talk about same old Jets, but it's not my team. Like I'm new to the Jets. I'm bringing a winning culture here. So I don't know. Jets fans, Jets Twitter, they're definitely gonna have something for Kirk Cousins on Sunday. You in the building are gonna have something for Kirk Cousins for sure on Sunday.
Who was it? It was either Kirk Cousins or we got Sam Darnold, right? That was.
I love Sam Darnold. Though. That was our fault. Kirk Cousins, don't you wish you came to the Jets?
No. Doesn't have the same.
But the wide receivers for the Vikings, it's not just them, dude. That's the issue. Obviously Jefferson, obviously Thielen, but dude, our main issue is with some of their strengths, like T.J. Hawkinson, who's a huge rapport. Like honestly, man, Quincy Williams is gonna be on him sometimes, dude. That's a tough matchup. And Dalvin Cook out of the backfield, hopefully it's Mosley every time, but the one or two times it's not. I'm gonna be holding my breath. You know what I mean? So. Their offense really is. It's so strong that if the Jets actually win this game, and they're dominant, we have a dominant defense as usual. Same old Jet story where we just kill them, we stifle the offense. The quarterback does just enough to win the game, and we go to Minnesota, we beat them, the 9-2 Vikings, and we're smelling the top of the division going into Buffalo. I mean. Yeah, right now I feel like the Jets could win any game and beat any team, but if that happens, like
I'm gonna be telling you about it next week. That's my thing. I'm gonna be telling you about it next week if we beat the Vikings. Right now, I feel it. I'm not as animated about it. I'm on the same exact page, John. I'm on the same exact page. Because you said 9-2, like they are the top of their conference. Forget their division. They are as good as it gets in the NFC. Them and the Eagles.
We're beating everybody else at the top, and everyone's yelling at us, except for the Patriots. Yes, we can't beat the Patriots. We got it. We understand.
Yeah.
Everybody mentions it. Even Alex mentions it today in passing. Like, yes, we can't beat the Patriots. I get it. But other than that, man, like we go to Green Bay, tell me they suck. Okay, we beat the Bears by 30 with our third string quarterback in conditions. You tell me it's stupid because it's the Bears. Okay, no problem. We beat the Dolphins. It's silly because it's their backup quarterback, even though it was our fault that Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. Whatever. Like everything has an excuse. We go to Buffalo. Oh, whatever. It was just one time. Buffalo came here. Sorry, we just beat them. It was just one time. Every single game has an excuse for why it doesn't matter. So if we go and we beat this Vikings team, I can't wait to find out why it doesn't matter because I'm going to be riding on such a high with this Buffalo game on our mind, man. Going into Buffalo and into the real conditions, like Buffalo in December, bro. Like for the division. Buffalo could, depending on what happens on Thursday today, maybe either 1-2 or 0-3 in the division. Playing the New York Jets. I mean, it's
look, man, it's gonna be great.
Meaningful December football, bro. Forget the hunt, bro. This is meaningful December football for the division, bro. Forget the hunt, bro. I don't care about the Chargers. I'm worried about the AFC East.
Woo! That's different to say. That is totally different to say.
I want a playoff game in JetLife Stadium, bro. I want a playoff game in JetLife Stadium.
You mentioned about teams that we can't beat, but I'll tell you a team that we can beat 24/7. That's Brady Quinn. All right, that's who we can beat 24/7. Because he was wrong about this. Playing meaningful football in December. Who has a rough part of the schedule? Not us. This is good. We're sitting. If the Jets come out and beat the Vikings, you have to think, like, honestly, you gotta be thinking Super Bowl. I think so. Like, I think you gotta be
division.
I would, John. You win a lot of money. I win a lot of money if we get the division. It's what every NFL team says going into the season. We got one thing on our mind to start the season. That's to win the division. I'm trying to win the division.
That's us.
I'm trying to win the division, Alex. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it later. I'm just saying.
Trying to win some money.
Saying, like, if you're taking out top dogs in the NFL, what does that mean?
I have a question on kind of flip this good conversation on its head a little bit. I was listening to some people talking today about the Jets. They were discussing if we miss the playoffs, is that a disappointing season? And I want to know what you guys think. I don't know if you want to do if we win this game and then miss the playoffs, excluding this game, no matter how this game goes. If we miss the playoffs, I think that if we win this game and then somehow with the schedule we have coming up, miss the playoffs, because it would probably be a loss to Buffalo, a loss to Miami, and then a loss to another not so great team between Seattle, the Jaguars, the Lions. I feel like that might be a disappointing season. It's crazy to say that we might scratch 10 wins and it will be a disappointing season. So, I don't know how I feel about that.
It definitely would be. No, and it definitely would be a disappointing season. Come on.
If you win 10 and you don't make the play, first of all, that's ridiculous. If you win 10 games and you don't make with an extra playoff team in the conference, if you don't make it, that's just honestly wild. So that wouldn't be disappointing. But if we win 8 games and miss the playoffs, that's horrible because that's only 2 more wins for the rest of the year. And we have the Lions and the Jaguars in there.
That's one more win, right? We're 7-4. We're 7-4 right now.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, dude. No, if we don't get 10, if 10 wins is a threshold, we need at least 3 more wins. If we get less than 10 wins, that's an issue. But if we get 10 and we miss the playoffs,
over under's 5.5, John.
Over was 5.5, bro. And then again, by the way, it was 9.5, and I retook it. I'm just gonna keep taking it. Whatever they give me, I'm just gonna keep taking it. And so you division, as we stand, is plus 1,000, just for the record.
So you think 10 wins is the threshold for a disappointing season? If we get 10 wins, it's okay. If we have 9 wins or less, it's a disappointing season. Alex, what do you think about that?
I think it's a disappointing season. I think if you get 10 wins and you don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointing season. Wow. And look, it's not for the fact that, look, expectations change
Yeah.
as the season unfolds. And we came in here saying it's developmental year for Zach. If we get 7 wins, optimistic because we got young talent, da 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 da. But now you're balling. When you start balling and you start to raise the level of like, all right, it's like, all right, this is a cool, fun season. However it unfolds. Now it's like, okay, we got to stay in the hunt towards the end of the season. Now you're not even in the hunt. You're in like, we should be playoff team caliber right now. The way that they've been performing, especially the defense, you got to think it's got to be making a playoff, man, especially for a franchise that hasn't made the playoffs since 2010.
Yeah,
Like,
that was some of the thing. It's like they were like, you haven't made the playoffs since 2010. You're on the doorstep. You got to punch it in. To me, it's so hard.
And the last time that we didn't make it is the one that we don't have to talk about because John will probably go out flying out the window.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the last December game that mattered.
We're gonna have a January. We might have a January game that matters when we play Miami, January 8th. It's crazy.
It's gonna matter a lot,
dude. I have such a tough time with it. If we have 10 wins, even if we have 9 wins, but again, that's only 2 more wins. So okay, so 10 wins. If we have 10 wins, I think it's a successful season. It would hurt so much to come this close and not make it. So I get why people would say it's disappointing. But dude, we're doing this without a quarterback. We're doing this without Breece Hall. We're doing this without Elijah Vera Tucker, who might be our best offensive player. Like, we're doing this with the most beat-up offensive line. At this point, I'm willing to say in the history of the NFL. It is insane what we are working with this season. But the list is long.
Practice squad running backs.
Yeah, 5th string
undrafted free
back.
agent. Zonovan Knight's an undrafted free agent. I love him to death, but he's undrafted for NC State.
Yeah.
But the thing is, man, is that you're just right there.
I know.
You're like so close.
Yeah.
You're so close.
And honestly,
you can't look
even
back
10
and say,
wins, Alex. You're right. Like 10 wins is only beating like Lions, Jacksonville, and like one of Seattle, Miami, Buffalo, Vikings. One. Like, am I crazy? I think we can win 11, 12 games.
Yeah.
It's not far out of the possibility, but it would just be disappointing, man. There's no way to look at it if you don't make the playoffs. You come this far, and then to me, it says it's not. And Greg, you're like, well, we did it without a quarterback. What does that mean for the future? And to me, you don't always get these opportunities. Next season is not always promised. We see it in the NFL every single year that the league is just flipping upside down on its own head. And last year it's the Bengals. This year you have the Eagles that are killing it. Now you got the Vikings. It wasn't like that last year. Can the Jets replicate and have that same energy, that same type of momentum? It's very tough, man. It's very tough to replicate year in and year out. And so when you have that opportunity, you gotta like cash in. You gotta cash in, man. That's why it would be a disappointment.
Can I push back though? Because there's a lot of teams that are there every year, and they like the Titans are there every year. Kansas City is there every year. Like there are teams that just like are consistent on at least one side of the ball. Like I feel like the Titans are a perfect example for the Jets. Like every year in year out, the Titans just keep winning games. All they do is play defense and run the ball. And they have no quarterback. They have injuries everywhere.
Yeah, but
Kansas City has injuries everywhere on defense, everywhere on offense. But they have that one guy named Patty Mahomes / Kermit the Frog, and he kills it.
That's the difference. They have a position that can last for a long time, right? If you have that quarterback position figured out, we're talking about 15 years.
What about the Titans?
Years of just like a staple.
Got Derrick Henry. It's not a quarterback, but
I don't even look at the Titans. I look at the rest of the division in the South as just mayhem. Like the Colts aren't that good. The Jaguars aren't that good. The Texans aren't that good. You're by default giving it to the Titans every single year. You look at the AFC East. Look how crowded it is, man. This is what it's going to be like for a couple of years now. So that means you got the Dolphins who are 8-3. You got the Bills who are 8-3. The Jets are 7-4. Patriots are 6-5. Everyone's a winning team. And we're talking about QBs. Well, what if we had a QB? Patriots are 6-5 with Mac Jones. All right. Dolphins now have talent. Bills are going to be good for a while because they got their quarterback. And the Jets, like, if you have this opportunity, You got to cash in on it because I don't know if this season's gonna be promised again next year.
Jets are
What-
here to
what
stay
if
for a
Dom-
while, bro. Jets are here to stay for a while.
I don't
Breaking
know,
news.
Alex.
But the thing is, the quarterback, man. But the thing is, the quarterback. Like, if we had a quarterback, I'd be like, okay, next year. I could say
Yeah.
next year. But we don't have the quarterback to keep saying next year. Unless Mike White becomes that dude, then it's a different story.
To me, I don't know if it's calling our shot a little bit or talking like a little crazy, but some of the comments on the last video, which I love, if you're listening right now and you got a comment, let us know what you think. Is it a disappointment if we don't make the playoffs this season? Because we are so close. We're in the hunt. We're in the playoffs right now. We're in it. Two of the comments, Astral on there was talking about hopefully Mike White is the QB of the future. Hopefully the QB carousel is over. I love seeing that. But the comment that put me over the top, and I don't know if it's talking crazy or not, Joshua Rivera, Mike White could be our Nick Foles. And I'm okay with that.
Not Nick
I think
Foles.
that's. I think that's fair.
Dude, when he said that, I never thought about that. When he said that, I was just like, yeah, in a way. Like, to your guys' point, like, Carson Wentz got hurt. So they were always like, okay, like, we'll have Carson Wentz back next year. He was on an MVP pace. He was, he was doing incredible things as an Eagle. And then Nick Foles comes in here and wins him a Super Bowl. So I'm not saying Mike White's going to do that. But it does have some of those vibes a little bit. And when I saw that, like I said, I didn't think about that. It kind of clicked for me a little bit. And to your point, Alex, these opportunities don't come. Like, look at the Eagles. It took them 5-6 years to get back to playing really good football to the point where they're on the top of their division, they're on the top of their conference. Just because some of these teams out there that you talked about, John, are there every year, I think they're very special. They're very rare. We got to capitalize. I'm back in on this. We got to capitalize now because Mike White's look competent. I think he's going to be competent against the Vikings. If we win this game, we hold all the cards. We got to go out there and beat some teams, and we can do that because we've done it 7 times already this season. It's crazy to say, but we've done it.
Let me ask you guys this question. Do you think the Bengals are as dominant as they were as last year? Or do you think they took a step back?
I think they're rounding into form.
But they
have a really tough schedule coming up here.
And they've been really good the last few weeks. And last week they got a win without Jamar Chase and without Joe Mixon. That's tough to do when those two guys are special on offense, and you can go out there and win against a good team in a tough game with your backup guys and Joe Burrow. I think that's pretty impressive because the offense is there. I don't know. Their defense second half's been pretty good. People talk about that a lot, but their offense is definitely, I think, they're a shining star on that team. So I think they're rounding into form. I think the Bengals can be just as dangerous as last year towards the end of the season.
I don't want to play the Bengals in the playoffs.
No.
I mean, they can't. I asked that question because to me, I think about when you have players in and out that are missing it during parts of the season, you got to add them back in, even though they were there before. It takes some time to like find that rhythm again for some teams. That's why I asked that question.
Jamar Chase, bro. Jamar Chase is gonna be fine.
If
I think
he's
the Bengals
healthy,
are good.
If he's healthy, he'll be fine. He's incredible.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Hip's a weird injury for a wide receiver.
That
all right,
so the most.
let's jump to this New York Jets team right here that allows one of the top teams in the pressures without actually blitzing, just taking 4, which allows us to play good against these types of teams. What do I got for a final prediction here, Alex?
Ooh. I'm going. Ooh. I'm going 31 24 Jets.
What do you got, Greg?
First thing that came to my mind, Alex almost snuck it on me. I was thinking 34-31. I think it's a lower-end shootout. I don't know what you would really call that, but I think it's a game-winning kick with our guy, Greg Zuerlein. I think it really is. Give me 34-31.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Do you know Greg Zuerlein's furthest field goal?
I'm going to guess 62.
Oh, he hit, 57 last week in the rain?
Like 58 last week, right?
58?
It is 57.
Oh,
okay.
It is 57, and he hit 57 in the playoffs on the Saints against the LA Rams.
Let's go.
Okay.
And that was indoors. Just letting you know.
he bombed one. To John's point, he bombed one last week in the rain, in the cold.
I think the wind also helped a little bit. The wind helped a little bit on that one.
Yeah. But indoors, man, I think we hit a game-winning field goal. I love the Jets money line. Check out Winning Picks Weekly when that comes out. They're definitely going to be in the Hail Mary parlay. But yeah, I think it comes down to a field goal. So if you're worried about it, take the 3 points if you're real worried. But I'm all money line this week.
I love that. I don't think we're gonna get my 17-3, but I think we're gonna get a repeat of 17-10 first half with the Jets here. And honestly, you talk about stingy in the second half. The Jets are wild stingy in the second half.
Yeah.
The Jets don't let up more than 17 points, man. So I'm gonna cap it at 17 for the Vikings. Maybe I'll give them 20. Like, okay, fine. They can kick another field goal. They could have 20. I'm gonna go 30-20. I think we're right on the ball here. Alex, you're right there. I'm gonna go 30-20. Over.
All right.
This game's gonna go way over. And honestly, dude, the Jets are gonna be on the map here. Talked about the Bills. So when NBC's trying to flex, yes, they have a right to flex out.
Yeah.
However, other networks like CBS, which has the Jets Bills, and if you look around the map, they're actually broadcasting locally almost over the entire United States over any of the other games going on. They actually you're able to kind of reserve games. So they reserve the Jets Bills because they want that game on CBS instead of allowing it to be flexed. So, hey man,
What a world.
they're already on the map here. They want to watch our division games versus the lowly Buffalo Bills. Usually that game's like $15. Yeah, drive up to Buffalo, go watch it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to go. Both teams are out of the playoffs. They both have 4 wins. It's December. Like, nobody cares. Now it's being fought with, major networks with hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, here we are, man. I think we're going to beat the Vikings. We're going to shock the world, man. Vikings 9-3. Doesn't that sound right? Vikings can't be 10-2, bro. Give me a damn break.
That would be insane. I think what was the game they're trying to flex out? They were trying to flex out next week, right? You said the Bills.
Yeah. I forgot what did they flex something in instead?
I think they did. I think they flexed out Patrick Mahomes, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, because Schefter was pissed about that.
Yeah,
right?
you know who they're playing, Alex?
Who are they playing?
Russell Wilson. How the mighty have fallen. Russell Wilson's taking Patrick Mahomes with them out of primetime. That's tough. Patrick Mahomes, I think, should play primetime every week. I don't know what we're doing here in the NFL. Get your scheduling together.
Did they put Dolphins Chargers?
Yeah.
So that what they do is they put games with playoff implications.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Which
why?
Denver doesn't have any of those.
Ooh.
You know why they flexed it out, right?
How's that?
Because Broncos country is riding out.
Getting those
Broncos
tea times ready.
Broncos country.
Right.
Let's fly.
Jets Nation.
All right.
Let's fly.
All right, boys. I'm gonna come at you guys next time from Minnesota. US Bank Stadium in the background this time.
It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be glorious.
From Lake Minnetonka.
That Green Bay episode's still one of my favorites we ever did. That was awesome.
I hope
John may be listening to Prince on the way out there.
Yeah, a little Purple Rain.
I hope they sell some sort of like stupid Vikings hat in like their pro shop.
Oh yeah, they will.
I want one so bad. If they win, I'm gonna do the same thing. If they win, I'm gonna go purchase one right now.
Are you gonna scream "Skull" after we win?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be doing this the entire time if we're winning. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna be the most annoying kid in the whole world.
Dude, so many teams, so many countries are doing that in the World Cup. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I love USA doing it with the USA. I love that stuff. The skull chant's incredible.
I'm gonna scold the hell out of them if we're winning. Oh my god!
Let's do it.
I'm gonna be my bright green Mangle jersey. Everyone's gonna be purple. Like I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb. I can't wait. I have a question, guys. Actually, and if you're still listening, shout out to you. Let me know what you think. Should I bring the cheese head?
No.
They hate Green Bay.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Survive, bro. Just survive.
All right,
Don't be
fine.
doing that. Don't be doing that.
Fine.
Don't be doing
I agree.
that.
I agree. It's
Don't
a
be
little
doing
much. That's a little antagonizing. I got you. I'm gonna go buy a Vikings thing if we win
Definitely
and scream
do
about
that.
it.
Definitely do.
Definitely
Alright,
do
deal.
that. Definitely do that. Do not take the
Deal.
cheesehead. We may not have you back.
Yeah, someone
You may be a
wore
prisoner-
cheesehead to
you
the
may be a
Bears
prisoner
game.
of
That's what gave me
war
the
if that
thought.
happens. You may be a prisoner of war.
Someone wore the cheesehead to
interrogation.
someone wore the cheesehead to Jet Live versus the Bears because the Bears hate Green Bay. I thought that was a little clever. That's why I thought
That's
about
good.
That's. I mean, that you're in a safe space though. You know, you're amongst your own family.
it.
Yeah.
Facts.
You're not.
saw
You're not
that.
amongst your own fan base.
I saw you guys see the Philadelphia fan who did the Philadelphia cream cheese head against Green
Yeah,
Bay.
yeah.
They played. I like that one too.
Well, the sauce
That's good,
cheese
that's
head was
good.
pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. But I think it's a good place to wrap it up. Jets win. Jets are going to win out in Minnesota. That's what we're all thinking over here. And you all know what
They
you
better,
should do.
bro. They better. I want eight wins. 8-4. Oh my god. I need 8-4.
John's already besides himself, and the game hasn't even started yet. Recording here on Wednesday night at 9:19 p.m.
Listen, Alex, if they beat the Vikings and then we beat the Bills, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to breathe. We're gonna be done with division games till the last game of the season. I'm honestly not gonna be. I'm not gonna be able to breathe. And it's not New England. I'm not gonna be able to breathe, bro. So
Hey man, I feel you. I'm right there with you. If the Jets do all of this,
2 games in a
it's gonna
row
be
right here
reckless.
on the road, I'm not gonna know how to act.
It's gonna be all reckless. But on that note, thank you all for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Nick Jets Etc. podcast. You all know what to do. Please make sure to subscribe. We're on all audio listening platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to give us that 5-star rating. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure to leave a review or comment. We're also partnered with Fanside and Minute Media, so you can find this podcast on the Jet Press and the Daily Knicks. We also got that YouTube page. Knicks coming, Jets coming, ETC period. No one writes out, etc. That shit's wild. Find the page, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new episode drops.
Get us to 500 subs, bro. Get us to 500
Get us to
subs.
500. Up to 500. We got past 400. Now let's get to 500. Come on. We all need your help over here to get to 500, right? I mean, the big goal is getting to 1,000. If you can all help us get to 1,000, you know, you're doing us a great deal, a great favor. So make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe whenever you go to that YouTube channel. But leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this game coming up. Do you think the Jets are going to go out to Minnesota and win? Uncle Mike, what are your thoughts? Are you confident now? Are you confident with Mike White at the helm? Let us know.
Yo,
all right.
Uncle Mike texted me.
Yeah.
He booked a trip to Miami. Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, he said he's actually upping you, bro. He's up you by a mile. He said, you know what? I believe this team is going to be in the playoffs no matter what. I'm just going down there for a good time to watch a win against a divisional rival and to beat Tua's ass. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying right now.
He's there for the division. He's there for the division win, bro. He's there.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's gonna. If it was like baseball, he would spray the champagne after win the division.
They should bring Uncle Mike into the locker room. If the Jets win, they should bring Uncle Mike into the locker room.
I feel like I've never won a division, even though I know I have. I feel like we have no idea how to act if that actually happens. So a playoff
win
game
the division.
A playoff game in January at Jet Life Stadium.
Well, let us know what you think. What do you think? What are you? and ask us and answer the question that Greg asked. Is Mike White our Nick Foles? Is he the Nick Foles of this season? What do you all think about Mike White as a quarterback? Leave a comment. Leave a comment under this video and let us know. And while you're also at that YouTube channel, we got another podcast, Winning Picks Weekly. John, video producer Greg, and our guy and co-host Chip Murphy. These guys go through every single sport possible. If you love sports betting, these guys got you covered. Make sure to bet responsibly. All right, when you do so. But you talk about college football, it's coming to a close soon. These guys got you covered. You talk about NFL season, these guys got you covered. They're going to be doing basketball, all that other stuff. So if you like sports gambling, definitely.
World Cup first half ties.
Look at that. These guys got you covered.
Best bet in sports.
And then last, and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We are there. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Nick Jets Etc. podcast. We out.
Jets, Jets.